So today I'm going to do a review on a particular shop that I went to the other day. It was the Vapor Cafe in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. I went online because a friend of mine and my wife, we were going to the area and we were like, hey, let's check out a vape shop to get one more in that we wouldn't necessarily be near. So we chose this one. And, when we walked in, I don't want to say I was blown away, but it was cool. It was nice. I've been wine tasting several times before at different vineyards and whatnot like that, and it kind of reminded me of that. I went in, they had a dark wood bar with bar-high stools. You saw it looked like wine bottles back behind the counter. It was all lined up. It was really, really neat looking. Everything was organized. The shop was, besides just being a little small, which wasn't really an issue, it wasn't crowded or anything, they had everything. They had soup to nuts. Most of the vendors that I've seen, they had most of the mods. They had, the Ego batteries, they had the tanks, and what was impressive is they had the replacement coils, which I have been looking for at different shops. Some places say they got the right, ones, and they really didn't. This place had all of the hard-to-find replacement coils for the different tanks, which was really neat. I was pretty blown away. They even had a paper menu for you to check out to bring home. When you sat down at their tasting bar, they handed you a menu like you were at a restaurant, and you got to read what they had to say and check out all their different flavors, and then you'd request, hey, may I please try this flavor, may I please try that flavor, and the idea was that they would just screw them up and they let you taste it, and that all works extremely well, I guess, in theory. Because unfortunately, besides the fact that I was really, really excited about this store, once the three of us, like I said, my friend and my wife, we had started trying flavors, I wasn't really impressed. When you have the certain style Ego tank, they flood or they gurgle, or once the wick starts to get old, certain things start to happen with it, and you don't get as pleasant of a taste or as good of smooth of a draw. And 95% of the tanks that we each tried just didn't work. You couldn't get a taste out of it, whether the batteries they were using the little guys, the Ego style, maybe they were 650. Those batteries don't hold a charge very well after a while, so even if they're fully charged when you start, you're not going to get the same draw at the end as at the beginning, and that was a big letdown for me, is that I couldn't successfully taste a lot of their flavors. And from the menu, which I have here in front of me, they make them sound so excellent. They're sweet tasting ripe dragon fruit. It's freshly picked strawberries straight from the fields. Those are the words they use to describe them. And unfortunately, I really couldn't get a good taste on any flavor, not a single one. And that was upsetting. Because again, from the look when I first walked in, it was. I was excited to be there. I really was. And then what I started noticing was that there was a gentleman behind the counter who I don't know if was one of the owners, but there was also another girl there. It seemed like every flavor, hey, may I try the whatever flavor. They didn't seem like they were happy to be at work that day. Whether or not it was a bad day or not, I was really turned off because I felt it was kind of rude. Rude is the best term I could use. There was a slight sigh in there each time you try to ask for a flavor or anything like that, and it just seemed like the salesperson didn't really want to, the gentleman there, he didn't want to either answer our questions, or he thought he was better than us. That's all that I can really express, is that I feel like he thought he was better than us. When it came to certain things, we would ask different questions, and it's not that he was talking down to us, but he didn't exactly treat us with the utmost respect. I guess that's a good term to use, that I don't feel that we were respected. So in this take-home menu that I'm looking at, it says in here, here at Vapor Cafe, we're dedicated to bringing smokers and existing vapists an honest approach to the world of electronic cigarettes and personal vaporizers. We provide a relaxed and friendly environment along with personal touch in order to enhance your vaping experience. So at first glance, when I walked in, that's exactly what it gave. Whoever wrote up this menu, and what seems like is one of the owners, has a lot more ideals and of customer service that they wanted to portray with their shop, and I don't feel like I got that experience that I was hoping for with as wonderful and as well stocked shop as they had. It even came down to the point where that the bathroom was really clean, and that's still something to think about. My wife, she's a big hey, I don't want to go there anymore. They had a gross bathroom, and I know that may not be something to some people, but it may be a big touch, and it happened to be very clean, so that was neat. But if I had to say, would I go back to the shop? Was I impressed? No, I wasn't extremely impressed with their flavors, maybe because I couldn't try them properly. But, it even came down to when we were picking up the coils, which I had mentioned they had, we wanted, two different, the same brand for two different tanks, and the gentleman there said, oh yeah, that'll work, don't worry, and I already knew for a fact that it wouldn't work because I've tried it already, so I don't know if he was just misinformed or he was just trying to sell us on something else, but when it came down to, he told us a certain way to clean out the tank, just stick a Q-tip down in it. And again, I already know from experience, if you've seen my videos on how to clean out an ego tank, there's just right ways to do it and wrong ways to do it. And I felt like he just didn't want us in the shop that day. But, that's pretty much it. Would I go back to this shop? Yeah, I'd go back, but pretty much just to find those hard-to-find coils that I couldn't find at any other store. So if I were in the area and I needed coils, yeah, I'd go back to this store, but no, I wasn't thoroughly impressed with the store. However, I can't say I won't ever go back because maybe someone else there, maybe a different owner, a different salesperson, will give us a different experience. But on my, first impressions are big for me, and I wasn't terribly impressed. So great ideas, great theories, great place. It was really cool. It was at first extremely welcoming, but customer service is a big deal for me, and I didn't feel that we received the top-notch customer service that they advertise in their menu and online. So Vapor Cafe in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Really cool looking store with everything you're going to need, but I feel like the customer service just kind of lacked it a little bit.